Today is World Day of Remembrance, and it is an annual national event to remember those who lost their lives in traffic accidents. In Portland, that number accounts to nearly 200 people lost since 2021. Fox 12's McKenna Marks gives us a look at how Portlanders are coming together to advocate for change and safer streets.
Despite the rain, the community still showed up to honor and advocate for victims of traffic accidents. The biggest message from speakers being that nearly all of these deaths could have been prevented.
My son was 28 years old when he was hit on his bike on Division Street.
My daughter, Danielle, she was hit by a TriMet bus.
In 2010, my son, Seamus, was struck and killed by a driver in a crosswalk. He was 1.
Michelle Dewberry with Families for Safe Streets helped organize Sunday's vigil in front of Portland City Hall to recognize the World Day of Remembrance. The purpose of the vigil was to honor the people, including Dewberry's 1-year-old son, Seamus, who were killed in a traffic accident.
Every single crash death is preventable.
Just last week, the Portland Auditor released a report on the Portland's Bureau of Transportation's Vision Zero. Vision Zero is a program meant to reduce traffic deaths and injuries to zero. But in the 10 years since the program has been active, the death toll has only climbed, leading more families to grieve their loved ones.
This shouldn't happen to people.
Families for Safe Streets organized Sunday's vigil. The group supports people who have been injured in traffic crashes and the families of victims who are killed in fatal accidents. Aside from offering support, the group also advocates for traffic safety laws.
Every time people like me ask for money or any kind of changes like to add a bike lane or to improve a crosswalk, we're always told there's no money. Meanwhile, there's like $10 billion in freeway expansions planned just within a 5-mile radius of my house.
During the vigil, community members decorated the pillars outside of City Hall with red carnations. Each carnation is meant to represent a life lost to a traffic accident. While many people took the opportunity to remember their loved ones, others took the opportunity to turn their anger into advocacy, calling on the city to enact safer traffic laws as soon as possible.
This is an epidemic that's not going to stop until something is done.
Newly elected city council members also spoke at Sunday's vigil, promising to advocate for change once they take office. In downtown Portland, McKenna Marks, Fox 12 Oregon.